Hang on for a night of strong storms, and OU's faculty taking a vote right now to decide how they will support the pending teacher walkout. Plus, a new era begins at the University of Oklahoma. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Kyle Payne.
And I'm Ashley Eddy. After months of secrecy, the decision has been made and OU has a new president. James Gallagly was announced as David Bourne's replacement this morning. Bourne announced his retirement earlier this academic year. This would be his last semester to serve OU as president. OU Nightly's Matt Marks is here with more on the new lead man.
Thanks, guys. At 7:30 this morning, the OU Board of Regents decided on James L. Gallagly to be the 14th president of the University of Oklahoma. Now, it was a process that was kept in secrecy, but the announcement was made formal today at the Memorial Student Union. In a room packed with students, faculty, members of the OU Pride, and Roughnecks, the OU community welcomed James Gallagly, who will be the new man in charge once President Bourne retires June 30th. What will this Sooner bring to the table? His message is clear. Continue on the legacy of his predecessor.
First and foremost, I will be a student with you. The second thing that I will promise to do is be an educator. That is what we do at the University of Oklahoma. I really look forward to teaching. We will work together as a team, and we will achieve great things. Because we are Sooners.
For more on just who James Gallagly is, we send it to OU Nightly's Jaron Spor.
I'm standing in what will soon be the third floor of the Gallagly College of Biomedical Engineering. For the engineering students, James Gallagly is a well-known figure, but for those outside of the college, he may be fairly unknown. James Gallagly is a graduate at OU Law School, but has become a prominent businessman in the oil field. He has donated $30 million to the university.
I've been a CEO several different times, and I find that just like my father taught me, the best way to lead people is to give them something to believe in, try to inspire them to achieve their very, very best.
President James Gallagly says he has a strong vision to make OU one of the best universities.
And together, cooperatively, I think we'll be able to achieve something even better than people thought was possible.
President James Gallagly will take over as active president on June 30th when current president David Bourne officially retires. Jaron Spor, on the scene, OU Nightly.
OU students have many different opinions on Bourne's replacement.
And a good vision, a vision to really continue to excel this university and bring it to the next step.
I can't see any qualifications that he has that would show that he will be successful in the future.
I'm just concerned that his new presidency was necessarily a purchase and not like a rewarded, respected election.
Another billionaire white male come in, and I would like a little bit more diversity.
We're really into, protecting the environment, and he's an oil exec, and so I don't know if there's going to be some controversy with oil and environment.
OU Nightly attempted to talk with several faculty members, but no one we approached wanted to go on camera. Kyle, it's pretty rainy out there. We might have a chance for severe weather also.
Yeah, it looks to be that way. Andrew, what do we have so far on tonight?
That's right, guys. Here's what we're looking at right now. In Norman, we are still under that severe thunderstorm watch. A little warning down here in Texas, but not yet here in Norman. We do have some heavier bands of rain coming in. And right now, Michael Bohling is out in the field. Michael, what are you seeing?
Well, Andrew, it is definitely raining outside right now. I've heard a few rumbles of thunder above me. I have seen a few lightning strikes out to our southwest. But with this rain, we do have a slight chance of some flooding right now with this widespread rain. But later on, if we move into the next couple hours, that's when we might see a few severe storms with that light to moderate size hail. But Andrew Adams will have more on that later. And make sure you follow us on Twitter for all the updates after the show. Back to you guys in the studio.
And speaking of stormy weather, the president has his own storm to deal with. Olivia joins us in the News Center on the latest scandal in the White House.
That's right. The adult film star Stormy Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, was sent a cease and desist letter after her interview with Anderson Cooper. This interview aired on 60 Minutes just yesterday. Daniels opened up of her alleged affair with Trump and a threat she received to stay silent by Michael Cohen, the president's lawyer. The letter demanded she publicly apologize to Cohen and refrain from making false statements in the future. Cohen paid Daniels $130,000 of his own money to stay silent. And at least 53 people are dead and dozens more are injured after a fire in a Siberian shopping center on Sunday. The Zemnaya Vishna shopping mall broke out in flames at the top floor of a 4-story building in the center's cinema hall. Families of victims will be paid 1 million rubles or $17,500 for compensation. A criminal investigation has been opened. And March for Our Lives events took place across the country on Saturday, led by the survivors of the deadly shooting at the Florida high school. Washington hosted the main event, accompanied by over 800 sister events, including those in Boston and Los Angeles. Students and teacher survivors, along with celebrities, joined the event standing against gun violence. Among them was Parkland survivor Emma Gonzalez, who remembered her classmates with a 6-minute, 20-second speech mimicking the time of the massacre. And along with the many marches across the country, one was held here in Oklahoma. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Olivia. A few thousand people gathered at the Capitol on Saturday to rally behind Oklahoma's youth. OU Nightly's Amina Schweitzer went to see how Oklahoma students united their community.
Students took to the stage around the country on March 24th, calling for gun reform after the February shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. They were calling for tighter gun regulations and congressional action. Students from around Oklahoma did the same.
I'm here because of Parkland, Florida. Much like the nation, I got sad, then I got scared, then I got angry, and then I decided to do something about it.
The March for Our Lives at the Oklahoma State Capitol heard calls to vote out legislators, to tighten gun control measures, and to get students registered and pre-registered to vote so that they may influence lawmakers.
This is great, and I love doing marches and starting awareness, but I think in order to make the real change, we have to get laws passed.
The most important aspect of the march, however, was its organizers. All students, all demanding a response from legislators.
It's beyond important for the students to be leading this. And now I'm here because the students have called me and let me know what was up. It's important to them, and I'm here to listen.
The rest of the message was echoed and supported by other parents, teachers, and Oklahomans in attendance. High school students have had enough. Amina Schweitzer, OU Nightly.
The students said at the march that just because the rally is over, they are not done working. They are still accepting donations in order to hold more events. You can learn more on the March for Our Lives OKC Facebook page.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, OU faculty consider how they will support Oklahoma public school teachers if there's a walkout next week.
Plus, President Trump unveils his plan to fight the opioid epidemic.
And the OU Nightly weather team is tracking storms moving across Oklahoma. Andrew Adams will have the very latest coming up.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Shereen Hashem. OU just concluded a faculty meeting right here in Jacobson Hall and about whether or not they support a teacher walkout. The vote in support passed after about an hour of reviewing and amending the statement. Only one person was in opposition, while another abstained from voting. The statement outlines OU's support for the teacher walkout and encourages the OU community to support Oklahoma educators in any means possible.
And the looming teacher walkout will leave some children wondering will they get their next meal. To prepare for this, the OU Institute for Childhood Development is hosting a food drive supporting students who rely on school meals. Non-perishable food items can be donated to the ICD office off Boyd Street, Alpha Chi Omega Sorority House, and other locations around Norman. The ICD packages the food and distributes it to families in need across the area.
when school is out, these children aren't getting the food that they need a lot of the times because some parents and families just don't have the monetary funds to feed them.
The food drive runs through Wednesday and donation distribution begins next week.
President Trump revealed a new step in his plan to fight the ongoing opioid epidemic in America. What does the president have in store, Will?
That's right, Ashley. President Trump said his administration will sue opioid makers in the coming months due to the overprescription of opioids across America.
The level of drugs that are being put out there and the power of this addiction is hard to believe. People go to the hospital for a period of a week and they come out, they're drug addicts.
States have sued opioid manufacturers as well, but the Trump administration aims to set a federal standard. The plan includes support for people fighting addiction, local law enforcement, and funding for treatment programs and research. And a new study says those against vaccinating their children for fear of autism may be wrong. The study published in the JAMA Pediatrics Journal says children who are on the autism spectrum are less vaccinated than children not on the spectrum. It also shows that the siblings of children with autism are often less vaccinated as well. There has been concern over the years that vaccinations can cause autism, but many studies have shown that there is no correlation. And even though the flu season is winding down, we're not out of the woods just yet. The CDC reported an increase in the B strain of the flu in recent weeks, which tends to be rougher on children. Here in Oklahoma, there have been 44 new flu-related hospitalizations this week and no deaths. And Kyle and Ashley, I don't know if you all heard about this, but the CDC actually has a new director now. His name is Dr. Robert Ray Redfield, and he was actually one of the lead researchers during the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. So hopefully there will be some good research coming out there.
Hopefully so. Thank you. As storms are on the horizon, Andrew, what can you tell us?
Will, it's raining right now, and it'll keep on raining throughout the evening. I'll give you more timing on when those heavier bands will be in coming up just after this. Well, what a welcome way to come back from spring break. It is raining right now in Norman, as you just saw. Here it is, 65 degrees now, overcast but rainy. It is muggy outside, and here in Norman, we are under what we like to call a slight risk. That's 2 out of 5 on the risk scale. That means that we will have severe storms likely this evening, could see some straight line wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or more, and hail greater than an inch. That could do some damage to your vehicle, so if you can put it in a garage, that will be great for you. Here's what we're looking for right now with our rain. It's moved through Norman for the most part, but we'll get this other batch down here towards Lawton coming up as they continue to track to our northeast. Some heavier bands with the higher winds I was talking about, as well as that hail. And if we take a nice look in, zoom in on campus right here, where those heavier bands just moved through, they're out of here for now, but like I said, not over yet. Here's some better timing as we can see. As this moves along, we'll have some more heavy rain coming on our doorstep by the time we get to 8 o'clock, makes its way through Norman by the time we get into the 9 o'clock hour. And unfortunately, that's not the end of it for the severe weather. We will have more of that coming in Tuesday morning by the 5 o'clock hour. Some more heavy rain, high winds, possible hail, but we do not have a very significant tornado threat, which is very nice for us here in Oklahoma. The rain will stick around through tomorrow, but for the most part, we'll be pushed out by the time we get to the afternoon until we have a slight chance for some more rain on Wednesday morning, but our helpful high pressure system is going to push through and get that rain out of here so that we will have a wonderful week ahead of us. If you look as we go past this rain, storms early tomorrow before it cools down on Wednesday, AM storms much less severe than what we are expecting tonight. Still calling it a 50% chance of rain though, 30% chance on Thursday, but really clearing out quite nicely for the weekend, even though it will be a little bit cloudy. But after we get through this rain, it should be pretty nice here in Norman.
Sounds good to me.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And after an early exit from the tournament, Kruger's squad will have a much different look in 2019.
But there's still more basketball to play, and Rachel Roberts has more on the Final Four.
That's right, guys. Coming up in sports, we talk softball and baseball opening Big 12 play. And after a crazy 2 weeks, the Final Four is set and headed to San Antonio. Stick around, sports is next. Well, March has lived up to the madness and the Final Four is set. With 3 games left to play, Kansas, Villanova, Michigan, or Loyola Chicago will be crowned the national champion. Last night, Kansas and Duke fought an unforgettable battle that ended in an overtime 85-81 win for the Jayhawks. Malik Newman scored all 13 of the Jayhawks' points in overtime and finished with 32. And the Cinderella story of Loyola Chicago and Sister Jean lives on after the Ramblers beat Kansas State 63-62 Saturday. The Ramblers will open Final Four play against Michigan, and Kansas faces Villanova Saturday. Speaking of basketball, former Sooner guard Trae Young is headed to the NBA draft in June. Young averaged 27 points and 8 assists and was selected as the Big 12 Freshman of the Year after shattering the conference's freshman scoring record with 811 points. Former Sooner guards Jordan Shepard and Cameron McGusty plan on transferring to unknown schools. We will keep you posted as we learn more. And Oklahoma softball took down Texas Tech 19-1 in 5 innings on Sunday afternoon. The Sooners clinched a series sweep and outscored Tech 35-1 on the weekend, earning run rule victories in all 3 contests. Sooner baseball also started conference play, and Lauren Linville has more on the team's performance.
The Sooners came out swinging this weekend, or sweeping, I should say, with a standout performance from junior pitcher Jake Irvin. OU clinched the first game 19-6 Friday against the Mountaineers, and Saturday didn't look much different with a last-minute doubleheader due to weather. The Sooners didn't miss a beat, scoring 7 runs in the 4th. Junior Briley Ware had no issues making contact with a 2-run double to flip the deficit to a 5-run lead. The guys went on to win the second game of the series 10-2. Junior left fielder Cade Harris kicked off Saturday's Game 2 with a double and went on to score on a RBI groundout by fellow junior Steele Walker. Kyler Murray wrapped up the weekend with a score on a rare RBI in the bottom of the 6th to finish 2-1. And head coach Skip Johnson felt good about the home sweep.
West Virginia's got a good club, and getting a sweep early and winning at home, that's what you have to do in our conference, is win as many games at home as you can, because the road gets tough.
The team improved to a 17-9 overall and 3-0 in the Big 12. This weekend was its first league sweep since 2015 and first to open conference play since 2013. And Oklahoma hosts in-state rival Oklahoma State tomorrow night at 6:30 for Bedlam Baseball. Be sure to keep up with OU Nightly's coverage of the game. Lauren Linville, OU Nightly Sports.
And for the 7th straight season, Oklahoma women's gymnastics are the Big 12 champions. The Sooners posted a 197.775 to take the title, 3 of 4 event titles, and the all-around title. While the Oklahoma City Thunder fell to the Portland Trailblazers last night at home, CJ McCollum scored 34 to help the Trailblazers top the Thunder 108-105. OKC had several chances to win but fell short after a missed 3 from Melo as time expired. Up next, the Thunder head to San Antonio to face the Spurs Thursday.
These next few weeks for the Thunder are going to be pretty important,
Yeah,
especially
they're crucial.
Especially if they want to keep Paul George.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So to come on OU Nightly, one Phoenix community helps out a local cat.
Stay with us.
In response to the teacher walkout, the Oklahoma Supreme Court is allowing a petition that will raise the gas and oil tax rate from 2% to 7%. The money from the raised 5% will go towards education. Some oil and gas companies have threatened layoffs. And OU is getting involved in the teacher walkout. The OU Faculty Senate Chair Sarah Ellis said that professors can choose to walk out and allow their students to walk out. But if professors don't cancel class, then students could be penalized for protesting.
Thank you, Sarah Beth. After 3 days of turmoil for Gypsy the community cat, he has finally been rescued from a Phoenix telephone pole. A neighbor used a ladder to climb up and help get the cat down safely, and the cat is currently with neighbors. One neighbor said they know Gypsy well enough and know that he could have jumped, but thank goodness he didn't. Glad to know he has his community to help him.
Good to see that cat get down.
I know.
That's nice.
Good story, right?
Yeah, they had to go up and get him eventually.
I know.
Andrew's here with a little more on tonight's weather.
Absolutely. So our severe thunderstorm watch actually just expired here for us in Cleveland County. So still be mindful of the rain that we are expected to get as these storms continue to track northeast, but our severe thunderstorm watch has expired. But we'll keep everybody updated online and on Twitter as the storms move through this evening.
But we're still expected to get rain tonight and then
Yes.
through the next couple days. So
Yes,
it
the rain
should
is still going to
continue
be
pretty
coming.
Wet.
It might or may not be as severe as first expected, but it is still coming. So we will be tracking that and keeping everyone posted as it makes its way through.
Okay. That's good news to hear then.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.